Hello everyone, welcome back to MoteMancer. I set up an ether mining facility, and I was getting started on actually mining motes of fire to start doing fire research, but I find myself with insufficient collectors. Oh, there's some earth here. That's nice. Oh, this could be improved as well, although it's so tightly coupled to what's happening here that replacing with shade collectors seems like it's not going to matter. Grab a big pile. Oh, I don't have to grab big piles of ether anymore, right? I can just, anytime I want, put down a void chest. Is that more fire? Oh yeah, but it's by the portal, which I wanted to leave alone, just in case. Yeah, so anytime I want, I can just put down a void chest and pick up as much ether as I please from that, right? So I'll just make a million of these guys. Okay, this... I could maybe extend, because I'm gonna, as I said, want a lot of salt here. I want this to produce a ton of salt. So I have enough grindstones for this. But, well, okay, before I start ripping this out, let's put in more grindstones to make more salt, I guess. Just mirror this, right? Turns out I don't want the Ember Collectors right now. No, yeah, those are grindstones. That's what I want. And when you're done, make some salt prisms. This feels a little more primitive than what I was doing on Earth, where I actually had, let's see, so how was I doing this? These are connected weird. Let's just simplify. I liked it. I guess I liked aesthetically that these were joined together, but regularity liberalis, right? Is it? I mean, that just means over everything, right? It's not some racist connotations. I don't really know. Yeah, let's just rip all of these out for now. I say for now, I mean indefinitely, I guess. Nope, you should go the other way, please. There. And then the same for the outputs here. See? No problem. We're not doing work in the entropy at all. This is producing salt, which goes here. I need to adjust the power distribution in here. be using the middle. And then reconnect back up here. Now, the point of that, I don't know. Why did I do this? I'm not actually going to be producing any more motes here, really. I mean, a little more, but not twice as much, right? Yeah, make more ember collectors, right? I need a ton of those. Okay, and most importantly of all, I have all those motes of shadow. Just grind it all up into salt, baby. Whenever you have spare time, make salt. Let's run a power line through here that doesn't go through a mode field so that I can do whatever I want in the mode field. Okay. Now, my shade collectors are here. I have only 10. I didn't really figure out a good layout for these before. I can do this, obviously. Like, I say this, it's not even clear what this is. I guess... This is very inefficient use of space, I think. This isn't even more than I was mining with just simple collectors. And I've found more efficient ways to mine. They're just so... The human brain craves regularity and patterns, right? But just throwing shit everywhere works way better. Yeah, not much use, but I guess that one's fine. So this is what, 4, 9? I mean, it's really not producing any more salt than what I had before, or, well, any more shadow than what I had before. This one doesn't even connect, you idiot. So, I mean, we're back to mining modes of shadow, but it's not actually producing enough to feed all this garbage I just set up over here. Yeah, I got carried away. I got excited to increase production. Because it feels like, with the earth collectors, right, I did actually increase my production because they were very regularly shaped, and the footprint was less than twice as big as a normal collector. So it was pretty easy to produce about twice as much from a single patch as you could with simple collectors. But with everything else I've gotten, the shape is crazy. You can't do it. So radiant collectors will help, I assume. that what they're called? Radiant shade, right? Yeah. But for the moment, I mean, this is not really any better than just running a bunch of simple collectors, it feels like. And so a bunch of this throughput is wasted. Oh well. Help, I'm trapped. So. Firewire. Okay, stop making that stuff. Okay, it needs a bunch of ether. Well, I know where that can be found, right? Ta-da! So that's this game's version of logistic robots for now, it seems like. I need even more ether. It's not actually elemental fire that's the limiting factor. It's the big piles of ether, even though I just slurped up 300 of it. Okay, noted. Oh, right, but it was actually ember collectors I needed some more of. Okay, I have 22. That's probably enough for now. So these are supposed to become mining outposts for actual motes of fire. Apparently there's doodads left in here, even though they're invisible. I know, like, technically they're not visible. They are clearly rendered, but they look exactly like the surroundings. My opinion on the doodads, okay, is not completely critical. I think they look nice, right? It's cool to see stuff like this everywhere, and it gives you hints of like, oh, there's a mote field in this direction because there's doodads nearby, right? My complaint is just that the doodads get in the way, and even that is not really like a fair complaint, you know? Sure, they get in the way. You like lots of things get in the way. You need it would be nice if salt just fell out of the trees and I didn't have to build it, right? But that's part of the game. And like mining, you know, getting these doodads out of the way is part of the game. Fine, but like let me see them. Or let me just place buildings over them and implicitly collect them. One of the two. Don't make me go pixel hunting, is my request. I'm not even pixel hunting, I'm just dragging the mouse at random. And hoping it hits whatever's there. So this is 12 again, right? So I actually need 2 more. I came with 22, but I'm going to build 2 mining outposts of 12 each. It's the wrong spot, apparently. Well, all the rest of these I've managed to power with just 2 fire wires. This one I couldn't get the power in at a convenient place, so it takes 3. No big deal. Actually, I shouldn't do this, because that just means crafting a bunch more ether. I should craft salt, because that's what I don't have ready access to. I should put down the void chest and collect my ether again. Okay. Well, that was not a very long time to use haste for, huh? Get everything? Looks like I got everything. Speak now or forever hold your peace. If you're if you're a fire doodad. Not much up there. I guess I'll build this one kind of downward. Okay, this looks a little less regular than the others, but I think it does a good job of covering this moat patch. Good. Mana pool's still holding steady. Help, I'm stuck. I gotta get out like that. Okay. A new rift has appeared here. Don't care. A new rift has appeared here. Don't care. Great. So these new moat fields are operating as desired. Let's make more salt. And connecting up to this pitiful little moat field. So I should have absolute truckloads of moats of fire. Thing is, the amount of salt I'm actually making here is not that high, so I can't bind that much of it, right? Is there more salt down here? This just ends, right? Yeah. I need so much salt for ingots. It's 3 salt per ingot, right? And this is barely making 3 salt per second. So I'm getting like... there's earth here. I hate to use one of my nearby earth patches for just more salt. This is ether, right? Yeah, this is my ether mining hub. This is Motes of Shadow, right? What are these going for? I think these are getting turned into elemental shadow way back at home, aren't they? Yeah. Or, well, here. Ah, so... here, I have an on-site ether factory. I could have replaced this with just pulling from the existing void chest, now that I have it. But I guess it's nice. To make use of some mining capacity that happens to be here, right? Rather than draining my... void chest logistics stuff. I guess that's not really true. I should pretty much never mine ether on site again, or make ether. Anytime I'm tempted to make more ether, I should go ahead and make it, but I should put it into a void chest, and then whenever I want ether, I can just pull it out of the void chest. Okay. So that would be, there's no need to revamp it here. I guess it would be better. It would be decoupling production from consumption so that any excess ether produced here that isn't needed here could be shipped globally to wherever. But I'm not going to go to the trouble of redoing it. I've set this up with direct insertion. I mean, come on. Revamping that is going to be a pain. And this was before I discovered the multi-slick production design. So I have a slab of elemental, elemental shadow coming out. And then that goes home to do research on. Okay. So, in some sense, it wouldn't hurt to tap this line of motes of shadow into like a salt factory, because we're pretty much done with all this shadow. It's just making ichor slicks, right? If I just... This is my ether factory. Where's my salt? Further down here? Yeah. If I connected that to the output of this mining facility, then these extra grindstones would actually be doing something, which would be cool. And it's not all that far. I think I can be convinced. Like, I do need an absolute truckload of salt. And I have to get it from somewhere. And salt is, you know, not abundant on the plane of fire. Where does it have to go? Yeah, this is the salt production. Okay, so it comes in. Did I run out? Ah! I'm out of ichor slicks. Can I just control click this whole box? Seems a little crazy, but I can. And so now I'm making use. I can't see in there, man. There's no problem with routing through here, like logistically, but I can't see if there are any doodads in there. So I think that worked. Yeah, that looks connected. So now this salt factory should be a little bit better supplied, I guess. Which... It goes down here. Oh, but I never actually used it down here. I just said, oh, I'll need some salt down here, and then I never used it. Need more chests. For the slick crossing experiment we need to work on here. So I need more elemental fire than just 4 per second, right? Because I seem to recall, like, a keystone for, like, Earth or life. Well, even a keystone only takes 9 elemental life per second to build one. And I said, oh, wouldn't it be nice to build one of these per second? But that's actually like way more than you need. So let's say we need one every 3 seconds. right? That's 9 elemental life. But then you look at the bismuth and corallite that are required as well. And that's like 3 more each. So let's say if we're only building a life keystone every 3 seconds, only 1 more bismuth and 1 more corallite. So, well, I guess simpler would be to say 3 bismuth and 3 corallite. Those are 9 each, so it's 27 elemental life per second, right? So to build 1 every 3 seconds is still 9 elemental life per second. Crazy. Which would mean binders, I have 25. But it would be like 18. I would need to really ramp this up. Okay, well, that's fine, I guess. I can do that. So I have 8 now. If I want 18, I should build 10 more. Quick math, checks out. And then I can put off using all that salt that I just mined or whatever. Just like this. Something's wrong there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's how much I anticipate that I would like to have a decent production base. For fire research. I don't think I actually have enough salt to supply this, but that's something I can address separately. Oh, also, I wasn't really supposed to run this slick all the way because it's so complicated. Oh yeah, this is so weird. Okay. Right, and then this, okay. Oh, I'm gonna need more magma grippers in a second. That's gonna be exciting. It's been a while since I've needed those. So I have so much garbage in my inventory, huh? Portal's up this way. I didn't start building right at the portal, did I? No. Isn't it over here? Yeah, here it is. Okay, phew, I clicked on the portal, but it didn't show me this stuff. Okay, another 150 of those tied me over for a while. Like that. And with that structure down, it's easy to see how to run the slicks. And then with that down, it should be pretty easy to see how to put down the reaching grippers, right? They're like that. Perfect. Would be nice if I could blueprint this. Fire wires. Well, just to be regular, I should be able to click and drag them, right? Perfect. Okay. Except not perfect. this one is placed wrong, and therefore all the ones I dragged from it are wrong. There. Everybody's happy now. Another nice thing about slicks is you don't have to worry about directionality of the belts, you know? Oh, you know what? Maybe this is finally my chance to make some night ore, because I've built all these salt prisms. Right, because it's like, oh, you know, you want to do the consumption of these things at the end of the belt to make sure you're using all the input. You don't start taking before the belt is saturated, right? And so you can run the belts the other way if you want to start building here, but then sometimes you can't really decide, or you need to do a mix or something. And with slicks, like, none of that matters. So that's nice. But first, I need to get salt over here. Which means I need to cross this lane. And so that's what this whole idea was for. It's so complicated, man. Maybe it's not complicated. It's actually pretty simple. This is the lane I don't want to disturb. I don't have to pick up or move any of it. I can just put a chest there. Reaching grippers. Well, I kind of do need to disturb it, don't I? It needs to wiggle to make proper room. I mean, if I have the luxury of unlimited space, which I sort of don't, I only need one reaching gripper here, right? I could just say, we'll do one here, and then another one. Actually, something I would like to learn. Am I still carrying pedestals around? It looks like no. Let's make a pedestal. This is backward. A pedestal can only hold one item at a time. So what I want to know is, if I fill this with, say, Motes of Shadow, this is going to pick up 5 of them and try to put them here. And then will this pick up 1 or just, or all 5? That's what I wish to know. You can only get 1. Okay, so they actually do have to pass through the pedestal. So you do need a chest to get good throughput out of this. But I guess actually, yeah, this is actually way better for throughput than doing it this way, or not for throughput, for space. It requires more chests, but chests are very cheap. And it takes way less space, and it's way less fiddly to just, like, do this, right? Okay, so this was a cute idea, and it minimized crossover points, but it was very complicated. And took up more space than just doing something stupider. But this was useful to help me find the idea, but it turns out that this is just a better way to do it. Depending on your priorities. If you prioritize absolute minimum capital expenditure, then all right, this is way more throughput than I need. If you care about the capital expenditure of some chests, this is not the most efficient way to do it. But I believe the other way required more Ichor slicks because you had to wiggle a little bit, and those are way more expensive, so it's fine. And this is much less space, which is the only thing you actually should care about in this kind of setup, I think. I mean, I could just not have this middle stuff, right? The one that isn't powered. Kind of weird, but it's fine. I mean, this is, as I said, way more grippers than I need to move this one slick over the other. Great. I've now crossed 2 slicks. Okay. So we're ready, I think, to finally start making ingots. Where are they made? Should be in molten anvils, I think. Nope, Cinder Forge. Which needs a bunch of elemental fire. Well, I got your elemental fire right here. Okay. So ingots make 1 per second. How much do I actually need of this stuff is my question. And actually, they'll be making a little bit less than 1 per second because my grippers don't move 3 items per second. I never got the last step of Earthen Might. They move 2.5 per second. So each of these will be working at slightly under capacity. So oh, wait a minute. None of the keystones don't require ingots, right? I assume, if there's any symmetry with the keystones. Because they just take prisms and then coralite and bismuth. And these just take elemental stuff. So it's basically just a bunch of elemental whatever, right? The ingots I need for the research before that. Not this. Pyrolyzer. Yeah, so I need, 200 ingots here, 300 is 5, another 200 is 7, which doesn't look like that much, but I bet Incineration Spires cost ingots too. They cost Cinder Forges, which cost 6 ingots each. Yeah. So if I'm going to do the research that requires that I produce Incineration Spires, I think lava barriers also require ingots, is my recollection. No, they take pedestals. But firewires take ingots. And something in here is left that requires firewires, right? Or did I do it all? It's got to be down here. Yeah. So firewires require ingots as well. So if I'm doing like this research, okay, it wants firewires. That's so much ether, but not ingots. Right, okay. This wants Ember Collectors, which take ingots, yeah. 6 ingots. And it would be nice to actually do this research here, now that I'm setting up for large-scale ingot production. I should do large-scale Ember Collector production as well. And large-scale Incineration Spires. So it's going to be like... It seems as though 6 ingots per second would be more than I could need. So what would it take to build 6 ingots per second? I mean, it would be a lot of everything. Mostly it takes salt. But the number of machines for 6 ingots per second, if each one is making like 5/6 of one per second, ideally, because I'm not feeding it properly. 5/6. No. 6 divided by 5/6. Is that right? Or times 5/6. I think it's divided. So it's like 7 machines-ish. Yeah. That's slightly less, slightly more than 6, because I want to make 6 per second and I'm slightly inefficient. Yes. 7. I think it's more like 7 1/4, but I'll just build 7, I guess. So I need 7 cinder forges, which requires a great deal of elemental fire. That much, apparently. Oh my gosh, it's taking forever to build. It needs slabs. Oh my god. Because it requires molten anvils, which require tinker's tables, which require slabs. All right. Fine. We're not going to automate making cinder forges, I don't think. Did you end up ever needing that in the other planes? Like, I mastered life, right? I don't think so. I didn't need mass production of, like, arboretums or something. Just collectors. Okay. Here are some cinder forges. They are very large, but don't be intimidated. They don't bite. I'm going to start from here and head southwest. There should be space without this being a problem, probably. So let's mirror the setup. Well, I guess the shape of this object does make a difference, maybe. Yeah, this is more regular, actually. Maybe this could be an advantage. It should be, maybe it could be easier to run a slick in that direction. Maybe not. I guess the issue is going to be, like, okay, let's say I have something... like this. Can I get that to feed a single forge? Oh, but I only need, because I'm not building so many buildings, I only need one of them. Right? Feeding each of these with 2 grippers, I guess, would be nice, because then they could run at full capacity. But it seems ambitious. Yeah, it's easy, actually, if I wanted. Let's do that. But this doesn't leave room for weaving the other slick through. I could do that on this side, but I'll have the same problem on the other side, so I should solve it here. I'll have the same problem on one of the 2 sides, so it should be the first side to give me room to figure stuff out. So if I want that, then I need a slick that kind of goes around it like so, right? Then I can put in the cinder forge, noting that it has to be reachable by the gripper. And it's very easy to produce the output here, although I don't actually want that. I think I want these to both be to be the 2 inputs, right? Have have my salt line come in like this, and elemental fire from here. Oh, a nice... Well, I think this is a nice side effect. I'm buffering up salt now. That's sort of nice, I guess. It's easy to pick some up if I want it, which, guess what? I do. Let's make more salt prisms. Everybody loves salt prisms. Oh, no, it's making more ether. Okay, so is there any place it would be convenient, then, to... Yeah, well, no. To feed this a second time from this. I think kind of not. Well, if I rotate... Here? No. Well... Maybe. If I, like, split... No, because this tile has to be salt. Which means this tile can't be fire, no matter how I move the slicks around. If I do this, it's no good. Ah, I can put it here. So I could do this to get these working at maximum capacity. Right? Like that? Seems kind of nice. This requires more capital expenditure in terms of reaching grippers, but those are not exactly expensive compared to cinder forges. And ultimately that doesn't really matter. The power production should be the same because things don't draw power when they're idle, so that doesn't matter. Yeah, I think I like this. This is a cute way to do everything I want to do. So can I actually squeeze it right next to the other one? Is this real life? Do I not have to break symmetry at all? I'm gonna have trouble powering it if I do that, I think. Actually, I can put power here. Okay, nice. Oh, look at all the ingots being made, and not by me. It's a dream. So yeah, this is exactly just along this axis. It's running exactly along an axis, so it should tile perfectly if I can use the same grippers. Can I? That's another question. I think no, right? Because this one corresponds to this tile, which is being used. Doesn't have to be, though. Could do that. I think this works. Then the other one, well, okay, it's so complicated. So, okay, if it tiled perfectly, it would involve magma grippers there, right? And then I still need the analog of this one, which would go here, and that's perfect. It just works. Am I out of firewires? No, I'm just clicking the wrong button. perfectly tiled would be here. I could move it a little bit further down and get better coverage and maybe save on one fire wire eventually, but I think regularity is important. That's why you should eat lots of fiber. Okay, so I love this, actually, because now I can just take this, lay it exactly over its friend, and then walk southwest. Looks like I built too many of these, by the way. And I don't need 7 of them. I only need 6. Because I managed to feed each of them twice. So these slots are the magma grippers. And then the Ichor Slick just runs as close as it can without running into the magma grippers, basically, right? Then we need the reaching grippers, which are sort of the complicated part. Let's do it. Okay. I'm gonna do the reaching grippers in 2 passes, because that way I can do all the ones that are oriented the same at the same time. Simpler and easier. Then the ones going the other way are just in the gap left over there. Uh-oh. You don't go anywhere. That's fine. This one is being fed twice, here and here. The one down here corresponds kind of in a way to this one. Okay. And there's still elemental fire left at the end of this to make other things out of fire. Now, the power supply. It's in this position. Oh man, it's gonna be so exciting to have all these ingots. In fact, my inventory's full. I'm getting all this salt from Elemental Shadow, I guess. Okay, whatever. Now, output-wise, I need 2 grippers as well if I'm going to make use of this, right? Because... Or do I? Hang on. No, because this only makes 1 ingot per second, right? Oh, right. And I don't even need 2 reaching grippers. I only need 1. Those are the ones that actually take power. I should be more... Yeah, I'll take out all the ones that are pointing that direction. Because it doesn't require that much elemental fire. It just requires a bunch of salt. Got it. And it's only making 1 ingot per second each. So a single magma gripper is just fine. There. My masterwork. Now, I'm sure that having these 2 production lines so close to each other is breaking some heuristics for good factory building, right? It's a little bit too coupled. But, I mean, I don't know. I'm okay with it. It needs to be somewhere near elemental fire somewhere. I need a line of elemental fire, and it might as well be the you know, this is where elemental fire is produced. It makes a line of elemental fire. Someone might as well use it. I think it's fine for Mr. Ingot to use it. Oh, I built some night ore and I never actually placed any of it, huh? I was gonna put it in here. Well, I was gonna put it somewhere. I don't know where. This seems as good a place as any. Let's make sure I'm in a position where I can run straight southwest. And yeah, it's a little brighter. Power drop on these guys, by the way, does it say? Actually, do they need power? They don't. I see. Well. Oh, I need more ether. Well, you know where that is. It's always in... There's always ether in the banana stand. Okay, the streamways can go. Underground streams are kind of expensive. But I just have a million of them lying around somewhere else. Throw it away. Space is more important here. Okay, great. Now give me all that ether. So, ingots. Can I just run those straight to the base and be doing something useful? I think not, because I don't have any fire research set up at all. Good news, in a way. I should start... I have lots of space to build a fire research factory, right? But I suppose better news. Oh, these don't even require ingots. What am I doing? These are the ones that require ingots. Right. So what am I doing with all these ingots? I mean, research, I guess. Incineration Spires are insanely expensive. Oh my god. Okay. I didn't realize they were 21 ingots. I looked at stuff and was like, oh, most of this requires 6 ingots per second. This requires so many ingots. Okay, I love it. But I should just set up, like I've been lusting after pyrolyzers for 10 hours or something, right? I should start basic fire research there, rather than start mass producing incineration spires. Which means mostly just I need to make fire prisms, which means I need to make salt prisms, which I hate. I look forward to the day when salt prisms are just something I can grab out of a void chest somewhere. But, I mean, at least... ether is now. So the fire prisms. Okay, let me. What does combined research look like? You end up needing like both prism types and the kind of combined intermediate resource. Bismuth here, obsidian. No. It's obsidian over here, isn't it? Where? Brimstone, and over here it'll be obsidian, I imagine. Yeah. So I'll need brimstone here. I'll need obsidian here. Wait, am I? No, this research I've already done. This is the stuff I can get new. It'll require obsidian. Only, right? Yeah, these both require brimstone. Bismuth. So it'll require both prisms. So I'm just thinking about, like, I don't want to have a combined research area exactly. I want to have a dedicated fire research area and that just like, okay, I export elemental fire and prisms as well to be sent down to the shadow area to research obsidian maw stuff. Yeah, infernal maw. Which should just require fire prisms, shadow prisms, and obsidian. So if I just ship fire prisms down there, okay. And elemental fire, of course, I guess will not need to go down there. It needs to go over here to the fire research factory, which means we're crossing lanes again. Alright, what am I doing with ingots? What research do I need to do that requires ingots? As any of its inputs. Pyrolyzers require ingots. Need to go straight to the altar. Okay, fine. What else am I building that requires ingots as an intermediate resource? Incineration spires. Those require a truckload of them. And ember collectors are the other main thing, right? Because like firewire and magma barriers don't. Yeah. I still don't know why you'd want a basalt chest. Why do I need power on a chest? It's just like a power pole that's also a chest? I don't know. But incineration spires require a ton of ingots. Absolute ton of them. Do I ever use thermal towers to research? I don't think so, right? Yeah. And ember collectors require some. Not as many, but some. So well, I feel like I should do the prisms next, right? I have salt right here. Ether I can get from wherever, and there's elemental fire right here. If I'm willing to declare this is the end of the fire production line, that I won't scale it any further, then I won't even have to cross lines. I can just bring it over here. Right? Well, yeah, this has salt. So I need salt prisms. Not that many. Right? Because they're all just going to go into fire mastery. Fire prisms, I should say. I'm not doing anything else with salt prisms in this area, I think. Like, none of this stuff says, oh, you need a ton of salt prisms. So they just need to turn into fire prisms, which are 3 salt prisms, basically. So it would be nice to make a lot of salt prisms, but I think that's sort of ambitious. I don't think I actually have that much salt income. Just make a ton of collectors, I guess. 'Cause so I think I want to do something like this, where I use void chests to import the ether, right? Of course. I think I can use one void chest per 2 grindstones if I'm careful, instead of requiring. Oh no, I can't. Of course. Yes, I can. Ta-da! And then no, that doesn't work. I can fit. Yeah, the reaching gripper would have to go in the wrong place. Do we really need one void chest per grindstone? That seems outrageous. I could instead build some grippers to unload from the void chest. That would be fine. But I was hoping not to have to run another slick. It could just be more regular if I just had void chests doing the work. But I don't see that working. So I mean, it would work. It would just. Actually, have I ever done this with grindstones? Are they big enough that this wiggling? Are they so small the wiggling idea doesn't work? Yeah, maybe this doesn't work. Well, maybe it works better on the other side. No, they're so small. I don't know that you can do this. Can you? There's no room to wiggle. Literally no wiggle room. Okay, so I guess I actually need void chests for each of these, which seems very expensive. That's why I should automate void chest production. Give me all that, please. I'll do this pedestal. I'll want it someday, but and I'm out of elemental shadow to make more void chests with. Oh my god, all that mycelium is unbelievably expensive. Well, maybe I can do this with slabs. Right, unload from a void chest onto a slab, because I'm not actually making that many salt prisms here, right? We are looking at like 4 per second, right? Being produced by all of this. I put down 8 of these usually. Looks like I did 9. Yeah, okay, I think that's what I should do. Okay, stop making void chests, you weirdo. Inventory is full. Sure. I understand. You have too much salt. I do have... Oh, man. My inventory is so full. I do have a factory... I think I just picked up too many Ichor Slicks. I have a factory that makes slabs. That's what's feeding the Ichor Slick factory. So I can kind of do one void chest per slab's worth of throughput, right? I think that's kind of a nice idea. So this isn't infinitely tileable in that I can put the exact same thing everywhere, but I can just insert a break with a new void chest that unloads into this, basically. So one void chest with 2 grippers to there. And now the salt can go in as well. Only requires 2 firewires, it turns out. These 2 are not close enough to connect to each other, but because they happen to go along another power line. Oh no, they're not close enough for you. Oh, I'm so sorry. Wait. Oh, this is missing. I have these... Oh, because I dragged... I always forget that you can't drag one gripper type over another, and like it makes sense and I get it, I just can't remember it. There. Even space for a little Nitor, huh? Oh, it's so bright, my eyes! Okay. Cool, and then we have... I mean, it's really just a slab's worth of salt prisms. I could put it on a slab, but I want it on a slick so that it's easy to extend to just tap into this existing production line. If I need more, like, yeah, I'll need a new slab for this, but I can just pull from the existing salt line and output onto the existing prism line. I mean, since I built this in such an awkward spot, I can't actually do that. But, you know, if I could. It just seems like outputting onto slicks is a nice thing to do is all. Okay. So that's salt prisms. And these are going directly into fire prisms. Do not pass go. So what do I need to make those? I need molten anvils. Which I'm obviously just making a small number of by hand. What am I doing here? Right, so you need life prism and coralite and bismuth, but I'm never researching with more than one fire prism at a time. So 1 per second would be fine if I wanted minimum research, like the kind of normal research speed. I guess to process this many salt prisms, which is 4 per second, into fire prisms, I only need 2 cinder forges, right? Is it molten anvil or I've already forgotten? Cinder forge, right? Nope, it's molten anvil. Okay. For which I require additional elemental fire. Are you not plugged in? What's wrong with you? This is going the wrong way. No. This is going the wrong way. Can't fit these molten anvils I just built. Okay, let's drop some salt. I'm going to stop manually crafting salt now. Let's get rid of those mana roots. That's I can quit anytime I want. Okay. So elemental fire is here. It would be nice to have this decoupled a bit, but I'm just not going to make that many fire prisms. It's fine. It would be... I mean, it would be nice to have research more than 1 per second. But, like, let's get real. The problem is going to be making an incineration spire per second, right? Not... Like, am I really going to make 2 incineration spires per second just so I can do scour? No. So, like, this research, I'm willing to do at 1 per second. I think all the research is 1 per second is fine. So let's put down those molten anvils. And there's plenty of space here for more, but for the salt prisms I currently have, although one day I hope to have salt prisms in an ether chest. Or a void chest, but I guess that won't happen when I'm on fire, will it? I'll have salt in ether void chest, hopefully. So I believe this is very simple to handle, right? Or no, it's got 2 inputs. Everything with 2 inputs is a little bit complicated, right? At least. And it wants 3 per second, which means feeding it with 2 grippers would be needed for maximum throughput. I have to say that seems impossible. Let's just build another molten anvil. One day I'll have more earthen might, and this will be perfect. But, I don't yet. So if I have something like this, can I do this all with slicks? Well, maybe it's easier to test in this way. If I'm doing that, then yes, the other slick can go like there. Right? Now, this is actually backward because both the elemental fire and the output should be going over here, I think. So I actually want just a single slick on the left and a double on the right. And space for power poles in the middle, I guess? So we said it looks like this, right? Oh, these are the outputs, though. I mean, this honestly could be on slabs, right? I'm just not making that many. Like, am I making more than 4 fire prisms per second with this setup? Obviously not. But, I mean, it seems nice to have a factory that could do that if it wanted to. Oh, the problem, though, is that then I have to cross 2 slicks. If I just have this middle line be a slab, all my problems go away. Right, because this line wants to get out. Yeah, let's just declare this is all the elemental fire I'm making. 9 per second. It's a lot. It's not necessarily the most. Like, firewires cost 3 per second, but Incineration Spires, I mean, those are the really expensive things to research. They require 30 per second, so I'm just not going to get to that. I'm not going to be making even 1 science per second out of this. I'm making 1 every 3 seconds, but there's only like 2 researchers that need those, right? For most of the rest of things, like, I guess Ember Collectors require a decent amount as well. Where are those? Here? Yeah, they require 6. So, like, that's less than I'm making here. 9 per second. And 9 is how much I decided I want for keystones. I won't be building keystones and researching stuff that requires incinerators at the same time, I imagine. So I think this is fine. 9 per second, going into 3 prisms per second, which I guess means I need another one of these if I want 3 per second. This is obviously in the wrong place. There we go. Wait, these are stupid. These were right. This one was stupid. Okay. It's supposed to go like that. So the output is what I can afford to be on a slab, because I'm only making I'm consuming more elemental fire and salt prisms than a slab can produce. Assuming I can produce that much outside, this factory consumes more of those as input than I can fit in a slab. But which by the way it doesn't, because I'm only making 4 per second here. But if I ever get access to more salt prisms, I can just plug them into this and it'll be great. Okay, anyway, I've already forgotten. This is making fire prisms. Okay, so this, the output here, can be a slab, which conveniently makes space for a slick here. And also, we don't have to do this little wiggle. guess I don't want it up here anyway, do I? Because the elemental fire comes in from here. Oh no, that doesn't reach the reaching grippers. Okay. It was just a very aesthetically pleasing place to put those, but it's not actually a useful place. This is better. Cool. I think this might be the first place I'm actually using void chests, the void chest network I set up. It's doing a good job. There we go. And it would kind of be nice to switch it over to a slick now, so I don't have to worry about directionality or buffering, right? Then I can easily run fire prisms. Yeah, it has to go onto a slick because I want it to go in two different directions. One down to where the shadow research is, and one over to where fire research will be. And then around here, probably I'm going to have to unload it back onto a slab so that I can go under this thing. Make a handful of pedestals. It would be nice if I could get it to all these places, but I think just those two will be fine. Yeah, this salt line's looking kind of sad, isn't it? So that should start us on an Infernal Maw research or whatever it's called, right? Yes. And the other prize is to get it here, which shouldn't be too hard. I think. Actually, the way things currently are, it's literally impossible. These slicks are in the way. Okay, I guess I can do that. Cut this slick short a little bit. still fits. Does that even help me? Not really. Like that? I'm now looking at this gripper. I'm watching it very carefully because it occurs to me, it says it can move 2.5 items every 2 seconds, but can it actually do that, or does it have to wait a while to gather items up? I think it picks them up pretty quickly. And if it were a slick, it could do so actually all at once, I assume. But there's a tiny little delay where it's only picked up one of these fire prisms, I think. Or it's picked up 5 of them and is waiting for the last. If you watch. I don't know. Hard to tell. Oh, these are gone. This needs to stay. That's the elemental shadow thing. Pedestal. Okay, so we're making good progress on Infernal Maw, which isn't actually what I wanted to do next. I wanted pyrolyzers. But I now have all the ingredients for pyrolyzers. I just have to, like, shove it into a research altar. I made 5 altars there? That seems a little unreasonable. But, okay, sure. You know what? Cancel. Did I still get 4? Or did it cancel all of them? Okay, it gave me 3. That's reasonable. So, I could just put the research area right here. Is that a stupid idea that only idiots would have? Maybe. It does not seem like it's giving myself enough space. It seems very stingy with space. All the main ingredients I want are right here. But, like, I could just run some slicks and put them over here as well, right? Even do this. But I want this to be producing fire stuff, I think. Let's keep in mind also that we do need someday to make fire keystones, which are going to require brimstone and obsidian, which means I need elemental fire, elemental earth, and elemental shadow all in the same place. So I'm exporting fire prisms down here. I don't know. This is the shadow base. I'll have a completely separate fire setup. I'm not going to reuse any of this for. Oops. I can't get that spot. There we go. I'm not going to try to make bismuth and ship it down here just because I happen to already be making elemental shadow. That's the only thing this area makes that I need, elemental shadow. It's crazy to try to use this research base just because I happen to have elemental shadow here. This is my starter kit. It's not where I'm going to be making fire keystones. Okay. What should I pick up while I'm here? Slabs, actually? Because it turns out those are kind of useful, even with access to slicks. because they're just so much easier to cross than slicks are. And we've already said, like, that for some researches, 1 per second is too ambitious. So do I even need more than 1 altar? I think the answer to that should be yes. Because for some researches, 1 per second is not that ambitious. Right, like these two I could do much more quickly. But then I guess this one requires Incineration Spires. Like these two, which requires Ember Collectors, which I can't make a million of, and Fire Wires, which I have to start, I have to re-automate. So Ember Collectors are going to be expensive, I assume. Okay, I did it. So we can see what cool new thing we get here. Yeah. So this is a... Yeah, so this is the impression I got from the Discord, is that you can get a total of 3 different inventories for your void chests. And it looks like they come from Shadow Adept stuff, Shadow Fire, and Shadow Air. So that's going to limit placement of some of these, right? Already, I can't place any void chests of any kind on life, because they all take Shadow. But that's fine. I don't need to do much building in life anymore. I've done everything. So... the Shadow Plane, I still need to do, and also Air and Fire. Air and Water. I mean, I need to do Fire, but that's currently where I am. Future planning, though. So, what should I put in each of the 3 void chests actually matters. Because the one on Shadow will be permitted anywhere. The one that's Shadow Fire, I won't be allowed to use on Water. And the one that's Shadow Air, I wouldn't be allowed to use on Earth, but that doesn't matter because I basically finished that as well. Except it might be nice to get like Quarry Collector Rays and more Earthen Might especially. So I might go back to finish this once I have void chests to make things simpler, maybe. But probably not. Probably I'll just suffer in silence for the rest. Suffer loudly the rest of the game. So the only thing is that whatever I'm doing in Water, I won't have access to the fire-based chest. So do I want that to be salt or salt prisms? Given that ether is already going to be available everywhere. I kind of think it should be salt prisms, right? Because if you ever need salt prisms somewhere, you can just like plop down a thing that takes in salt and ether and then jam them together, right? And I guess with brineries in Water, I should be able to produce large quantities of salt pretty much anywhere. Well, not anywhere, but I guess that's an argument for and against using a void chest for salt there. Because can't I just manufacture salt on site? Answer, no. There are going to be places where, like, you know, I want to do a large amount of work with some air or some life, and I don't have water nearby, and I just want to import that. So yeah, I think the fire chest should be for holding salt prisms, which is a bummer because I wanted to use that to simplify my production here on fire. I wish it could be different per plane, but I also am really glad it's the same per plane, because that means I can harvest a bunch of ether here on fire and just have easy access to it on water, right? Where ether is quite scarce. Okay, so that's my thinking about void chests. And it's a little disappointing that I'm not going to have a salt void chest here on fire, but I think that's a trade-off that I'm choosing to make. Maybe I can come back someday after I visited Shadow, although I doubt it. So, Blaze Cap. A mushroom used in the rune shroom rituals. Okay, if you say so, man. So I assume I want to research both of these. Certainly this one, which just means I need to make obsidian and ship it down to the joint research area, and then I have both prisms already, right? Okay, so I still haven't understood these rituals. Maybe I'm missing out on something cool. The way it was described, it didn't look that interesting. But this says use... Oh, I see. So Rune Shroom makes rituals. Okay, let's just make one of these and see what the hell is going on with this. I should be making a ton of mycelium, by the way. Although I guess now is a bad time. I should be doing it when I have spare, when I'm not doing anything with the character's crafting capacity. So rune shrooms take shade caps. These are intermediate. Okay. Because maybe I can put one of these down and it'll be like, oh, here's a ritual that we didn't mention on the science tab that doesn't use any of these resources or something. Right? Wouldn't that be nice? Okay, you. What's your deal? Oh. Interesting. Prevents entropy from entering. Okay. That's cute. Or this. It's a hand, I see. Very cute. So you can put these down. Wow, I see. So having to build around these, fit this into your production seems very complicated. But okay. I mean, that's what this game is all, you know, it's really leaning into, right? Is making every little build that you make an interesting puzzle. And so if you wanted to fend off entropy, okay, you have to build around these spots, these 7 spots being taken up. Interesting. Oh, you can rotate it, sure. Or delete it? You can't have it do both, though. Interesting. So in the research tree, did it say what rune shrooms would do? I don't think it did. Why is it... Hello? Can you get out of my face, you stupid tooltip? Thank you. What was I looking at? Right. When I researched rune shrooms, it just says, oh, area of effect. And so I didn't look into it because I thought this was like the base building that wouldn't do anything until I got this. And this is the first ritual that you learn about. Turns out there's another one for preventing entropy. Okay, that could have been cool, but like I don't feel like I'm missing much. Well, it could be nice on water where I won't have access to Incineration Spires, and you'd have to use bastions, which require feeding elemental water in, which I don't want to have to do. So maybe I could try to protect things there with rituals instead. I don't know. Right, so I was talking about where to put the research and how much research I need. Because this research is going to be slow no matter what, and so is this. These two we could go a bit faster with multiple. This one's not going to be too fast either, right? The stuff through here, I mean, is all going to require keystones, which I can't make that much of. So I think, honestly, just one altar is fine. A couple researches will be a little bit slower than they could be, but it's all right. So that just takes so little space. You know what? I'm going to put it right here. Don't give myself any space. Disobey every advice I ever get in the comments about give yourself space. And just plop it right here. I don't need more ingots than that, right? Okay, I mean, why? I might as well give myself a little space to make this bigger someday. I thought I put another one there. I guess not. So these should just be fed by slabs, I think. Well, I guess I could switch to slab mode early to save a little bit of resources. And the ingots, I'll run the slick all the way down here so that if I ever build more of these guys, I can just add into the existing slick, I guess. Look at that. It happens to line up. Okay, we're researching something. Is it this? It is. All right, so this is the one that we could do more quickly. And it would be nice to have it as soon as possible, but it's really not urgent. I have a million things I need to do. Like automate Incineration Spires? Is that what's next? It would be for this. And, oh, lava barriers as well. Or I could automate collection stuff, making collectors, which I assume is a big pain. Oh, actually it's not. I mean, I need simple collectors, which is a pain. But it's just salt prisms and ether, which is basically just salt and ether. I guess I need firewire before automated before that does me any good. Am I doing that yet? I'm not, right? It seems like Incineration Spires are actually a fine next step, even though I can't even use them for anything. Because they require firewire anyway, right? So, in automating these, I'll have to automate firewire, and then I'll have both of them. And they're a big consumer of ingots. So it seems like putting them here makes sense, right? They're made in cinder forges. And we said even one of these per second would be quite ambitious. Oh, I already have 6 of these? Okay. We already said one of these per second would be quite ambitious, so I think 1 cinder forge is plenty. They just require so many ingots. And I only ever need to make, like, I don't know, 700 of them total. Just like 10 minutes at 1 per second. And then, like, you know, that's that plus a small handful to actually use myself. So fire wires are made in molten anvils out of fire and ether. This is motes of fire, huh? So it actually seems like I just scooted this over a little. Oh, I guess you actually did need to be there. Then I have room to take this elemental fire over the salt input line, right? I don't remember exactly how much of this I need. Because I want kind of, okay, so 3 fire wires. So I really only need a slab worth of fire wires. Which means a slab worth, no. Which is so much elemental fire, God. This stuff is crazy. But, maybe like 12. Okay, throw in a couple more of these just in case, I guess. So this line of elemental fire is going to go into the production of fire wires. Do I still have molten anvils or did I place them all? I have a bunch of cinder forges. I made too many of those. But 1 molten anvil should be able to make all the fire wires I'm ever going to need, right? It makes 1... Oh, I'm putting it the wrong thing. It makes 1 per second. Oh no, I need 3 of them to make, in principle, 1 incineration spire per second, but again, I can't actually do that. I might as well try, though. I might as well build enough capacity for it. It wouldn't hurt. More molten anvils need more elemental fire. You lied to me? No. Oh, these are just like empty. I'm actually using the stuff. Oh, that's so nice. Where's it all going? Research. Okay. No, let me. I can get behind that. Alright. So 3 molten anvils should be plenty. It needs so many fucking ingots. Right? This is insane? So 4 of the... yeah, 5... I don't know. That's probably enough. So on the other side, we need fire wires and space for the output. Either of which could really be on a slab, right? I'm not producing enough to do much with this. But in some ways, yeah, the output should be a slick. Not because I need capacity on the slick, but because I don't want to buffer up 1,000,000 incineration spires on a slab. I mean, I kind of do. Because I want a chest that I can just come grab, 10 incineration spires from, or whatever, right? A slab would solve that job, but I guess a chest and a slick is more to the point. Well, no, because I'm just gonna have a slab, I think, because then the slab itself will be enough buffer space for me. Okay, so what about this research area? How many things am I gonna need to get here? How hard am I making this for myself? I think as long as I only try to do 1, it should be very simple, right? Just like have slabs, yeah, like this. Are you the right thing? You're the wrong thing. Oh, I needed you. Go back. Okay. Right. That was. No, I didn't. This is what I'm actually. You I needed. Oh yeah, I didn't. This doesn't need power. Right. Okay. That's fine. Well, you know what? My life would be simpler if I did this. There. Actually, simpler still if I did that, I think. Because now I can just have slabs running in like that, right? I had all this trouble with like getting all the research into one place on Earth because I was trying to handle multiple altars and also do like 1,000,000 different things. I think this time I'm just willing to accept that 1 altar is enough. Because some of the stuff I'm trying to research is very big. These early researches, I could go faster with more altars because my production outstrips the demand, but not by a lot. Because I'm not actually making that many fire prisons. So multiple altars wouldn't even speed me up very much here. And later, like Incineration Spires, I'm not going to be close to feeding multiple altars with that, so I might as well just have 1. Okay. Which I guess means hello? Okay. Autosave or something? I should have this. Now that means we're not using this area necessarily for production of more things, but this, I mean, you just can't, I can't satisfy multiple Cinder Forges worth of Incineration Spires, so that's fine. On this side, a slab of output. I'm out of slabs. There must be some law against straight lines. Okay. This is where the outputs go, and honestly, I don't even need this part, do I? The outputs could go over here, because I'm not tiling this. There's only one of them. You know what? I'll do that. It'll simplify the layout. And then the input, again, I don't actually need to run it down here. Do I? Firewires, I said I wanted to have multiple anvils working on it, so I guess it's fine. How do you even get these to tile with this weird shape? I think I'm just gonna do this? It's like they were designed to work this way, huh? That's kind of funny. Oh, you're in the wrong place. Oh, because these were arranged around a corner and this is around an edge, it doesn't fit quite right. I guess feeding these firewire guys is going to get a little complicated, isn't it? I don't want to look at my timer and see how long I've been recording. Something's going to tell me it's 2.5 hours and I'm going to throw up. Yeah, these require a ton of stuff, actually. Am I really trying to produce 3 of this per second? Are you insane? What's my ingot production per second? If I had unlimited production, I'd be making 6 ingots per second, which is 1/3 of the amount needed for an Incineration Spire. So one firewire is plenty, and I should not trick myself into thinking that I can actually do more. This is going to be enough, complicated enough to feed, right? Because it needs a small amount of elemental fire, but still more than a single gripper than can handle. So elemental fire there. I guess this could have just been a slab, huh? But no, I want to reuse this elemental fire line for more stuff out here. So that's fine. I think, though, I will pull it onto a slab for specifically this job, while leaving the slick available to go further east. This isn't quite right, is it? This is kind of stupid, but whatever. That's elemental fire. And then to feed this full time, 10 ether would be 4 grippers. Which certainly needs a slick. Like that. Which is coming out of a void chest. Hey! We learned about pyrolyzers, the thing I've dreamed of. That's the one thing I want from all of Fire. Like, I'm sure there's more, but I really wanted this. Okay, and now it should start on this. Yeah, good. Okay. It doesn't look like they're holding ether. It looks like they're holding some weird thing, but that's because there's 5 ethers. Okay. So, is this it? Oh, let's put these into a chest as... No. Picking up 50 of them from here. Well, 50 is not all that much. Let's do it like this. And actually remove the direct insertion. So it gets... We prioritize actually building stuff, but then if there's no space to build more Incineration Spires, we save up 300 fire wires. We did it! An Incineration Spire. Okay, I mean, we're not actually producing enough to keep this fed all the time, but it's very exciting that it does anything. We are keeping up with ether production. This is not... This is less than the ether farm is producing, which is good to know. Okay. So this is a ridiculously large buffer. Oh, right, we need to research firewires as well, right? Down here. Yeah. So these shouldn't just be going into a chest. I mean, they can. But I should pull from the chest to do research as well. It seems like that really ought to be a slick, because I don't want it to act as additional buffer space. And in some weird sixth sense, I think I might actually be building more buffer space for Incineration Spires than anything else. Even though they're insanely expensive and you shouldn't need to buffer 1,000,000 of them. It's going to be nice to be able to come down here and pick up 10 or whatever, right? And I think 300, which you can fit in a chest, is still more than this slab, so... I don't know, it's not the end of the world. So this will cut down production a bit. I don't know which one of these is going to get priority. They're trading off? No. Okay, the building... Ah, of course, because the slick is full? No, that doesn't seem right. Okay, there's some firewire here. So it's doing research that doesn't involve firewires. It's still working on this, right? Scorched Earth? Which is fine with me. I don't care that much about the order. Am I researching ingots in here? I am. So it'll do that eventually too. But only once we've built up an insanely large backlog of Incineration Spires, I guess. Which is fine. Also, like, I just can't stand it. I have to make this less stupid. There we go. Okay, whatever my timer says, which it probably says way too fucking long, this is a great place to end the video with a triumph. We are automating Incineration Spires, a higher resource, a more resource-intensive thing than I have done on any other plane, I think. And we're not automating them as fast as it would be nice to do, but we are automating them, and we'll get the research on them. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.